Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I show the gameplay by Muhammad Lutfi and Carissa. And this beautiful game complete in only 29 moves. And let's see how the game play. The game start with the pawn to e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to b5, and here you have the royal Lopez opening, and here the black continue with a6 and the bishop goes to a4. Then the white go for a short castling, and after this the black keep on develop the bishop, and this allow the black to go for a short castling. And this is the first 5 move, and you can see that the white is slightly better in this position. Then the game continue with the pawn to d3, d6 was played, and the white play c4, keep on control of the center. Then the black go for a short castling, and now h3 was played. After this, the knight to d7. Then the white keep on develop the pieces, knight to c3, and now the knight to c5 trying to attack the bishop. So the white capture the knight and go for the exchange, and after this the pawn capture it back. And here this is the first 10 move, and now the position is equal. The game continue with the white push the pawn towards the center and trying to attack the knight, and this the pawn just capture the d4 pawn. Then the knight capture back the d4, and now you have a center knight in the golden square, and you have more activity for the white. So after this, bishop to d7 was played, and now the white play rook to e1. Then bishop to f6 trying to attack the knight, and after this b3 was played. Then the black continued to play with the pawn a5 trying to push up, and now the position remain equal, or the black will be a slightly has an edge in this position. Then the rook to b1, and now rook to e8, and this is the first 15 move. You can see now the black has an edge in the development. The game continue with bishop to b2. Then the black play queen to b8, and after this bishop to a1 was played. And after this the queen to a7, trying to move away the knight, and you have the knight to capture the pawn, and also the queen can able to attack the knight with the bishop. So you have a multiple attack at this position from the black. So after this, knight c2 was played, and this the black is winning a pawn in this position. So you can see that the knight is attacked the pawn with the rook. So if the black capture the knight, then this the black will remove the guard and will be winning a pawn. So at this position the bishop just capture the knight, and after this the bishop capture it back. Then at here in the actual game the knight takes the e4 pawn, and here the black is better in winning a pawn. At this position, of course, it's not captured with the rook, because if you capture with the rook, then the queen will come to f3 and attack the rook with the rook. So after queen to f3, if the rook capture the rook and go for the exchange, then the rook will just capture it, and this will give white a slightly better in the attack. And if the game to continue, you can play the queen to b8, and the white can keep on attack with the knight to d4. So back to this position, knight takes the e4 pawn, and after this, bishop to d4 was played and trying to attack the knight, attack the queen. Then c5 was played, and now bishop goes to b2. Then queen to b7 to protect the knight. You have two pieces that protect the knight. After this, the knight to e3 was played, and here the rook a to d8. Then the white trying to play queen to f3 and attack the knight. After this, c6 was played, and after this move, knight to g4 was played, and this you have a very strong knight to attack, such as you can have the knight to go to h6 and check the king, and after check the king, the knight can attack the pawn at f7. So at this moment, you have a very strong knight, a great move for the knight. In the actual game, d5 was played, and this is a tactical blunder from the black. The correct move or better move for the black to play is to capture the knight, as course the knight is very strong. So after capture the knight, then the queen will capture, and after this you have the bishop attack the pawn at g7 and queen attack the pawn at g7, and this will go for a simple queen checkmate. So to prevent this, you can play f5, sacrifice the pawn, and this pawn attack the queen, and the pawns protect the knight, and at the same time the queen will be protecting the pawn at g7. So if you capture the pawn, then the queen can goes to f7 to go for the exchange, queen exchange. So after this, then if the queen just capture the queen for the exchange and the king capture, and this will remain equal in the game. So back to this position, d5 was played, and this is a tactical blunder, and here tactical mistake that the black play, and the white now can go for a rook. And after capture the knight, then the pawn capture the rook is another mistake, as this pawn is attack the bishop, but the white has a very strong move with the knight h6, and this is a mate in 8. For example, after this move, in the actual game, the white play knight to h6 and check the king. And after this move, you can move to king to f8, and the queen will just capture the pawn and will be winning. And this will be a simple queen checkmate. And if the king move to h8, then you can have the idea of, in the actual game, king h8 was played, and after this the black continue to attack and mate in 3. I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the continuation of the white to play and mate in 3. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the moves. And in the actual game, after king move to h8, the white play queen takes f7 pawn, and now you have the bishop capture the g7 pawn, and it will be a checkmate. So after this move, rook g8 was played, and now you have the brilliant sacrifice with the queen. Queen takes g8 and check, and here you have the checkmate pattern of smothered mate. As you can see, the king cannot capture the queen because it's being protected by the knight. So the only way to play is to capture with the rook, and after capture the rook, you have the knight to f7 and checkmate. A simple smothered checkmate. So back to this position, and if you capture with the pawn, g takes the knight, then the continuation will be a very strong queen to f6 and preparing to go for g7 and checkmate the king, and this will be protected by the bishop at b2. So queen to f6 was played, and nothing much that you can prevent the checkmate. And if you want to continue the game, such as block the diagonal with the rook, then the white will just simply capture the free rook. And the continuation after this, if you move the king to f8, then you have a queen takes the rook and check the king. Queen takes the d8 and check the king. And now you can see that the queen is check the king, and the bishop is control the diagonal. Then if you block with the bishop to e8, then the queen can go to e6 and diagonal check again the king. And after this, king to g8 can be played, and here now you bring the bishop, the queen, to f6 and prepare for a simple checkmate at g7 again. And now if you move the king to f8, then you can just use the queen to capture the pawn at h6 and continue diagonal check again. So after this, you have only two options for the king to play, and if you move the king to g8, then you will have a queen to g7. You have again the simple queen checkmate. And if you move the king to e7, then you have a queen to d6, and this typical checkmate pattern, you have the dovetail mate, and the queen is protected by the bishop. So at this game, you can see that the brilliant knight sacrifice will lead to multiple attack and multiple checkmate pattern from the white, and at this move is a mate in 8. And with this, thank you.